Great Thursday evening, January 7th, 2021. To God be the glory. I was saying 2020 earlier today, but nope, we're in a brand new year and so much has happened in these short 7 days, but God is in control. And we know that we are in the 8th chapter of Exodus, and something that the Lord placed in my heart earlier this evening, actually earlier today, as far as people who have gone through so much during this past 48 hours or for this past year. We're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of this pandemic, and also just so many suffering in the mind. The Lord has given me recently a passion for mental health and emotional wellness, because there are so many who are suffering internally in the mind. And believe it or not, the Lord had me, really pray and remember the present president. Yeah, I can imagine what he is going through as far as regrets and the not having access to his Twitter account and Facebook, and just the amount of rejection and what seemingly might be misunderstandings or whatever. But this is very important for those who are struggling in the mind. And also something that happened in the congressional meeting overnight is there was a representative, I believe from Maryland, Representative Raskin. He lost his son recently, Tommy, and he was a second-year Harvard Law student. And he took his life. And pretty much his parents just declared that it was from a devastating disease called depression. That is real, especially just being inside and not being able to go out and be free, and people are suffering. But this is the promise that the Lord will give us. And we know that David had to encourage himself in 1 Samuel 30 verse 6, when people turned against him and they were like, oh my goodness, the women, our wives, our children have been taken away, the treasures have been taken away. But eventually they were received again. They were retrieved. But in the meantime, David had to learn how to turn inward and turn vertical. And this is what we're going to have to learn how to do in these trying times. Sometimes we're not going to be able to get Big Mama or that minister or that neighbor. And God wants us to internally turn to Him. In Exodus 8, verse 22, this is the promise of the Lord. Even when people were experiencing the plagues of the water being turned to blood, and then the frogs, and then the gnats from the dust, and the flies, there still was a section where the Lord said, I'm going to preserve these people so they will not even feel this plague. It says in verse 22, and I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end thou mayest know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth. Goshen is that rich, wealthy place, but it's that protected place. God wants us to stay in the secret place of the Most High, right? He or she that dwelleth there. People will not understand, how are you so peaceful? But it's because you're in a secret place. And then in that secret place, the Lord will speak peace and His messages to you. Yes, I will say to the Lord, He is my refuge in times of trouble, and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust. This is the time, Mike Pence, I know that you're going through so much, to declare that you were the loser, and you and your president and all that, and to declare that Senator Harris and Biden, but that's okay. Turn inward, turn vertical, and the Lord will encourage you. He will give you songs through the night, Yeah. And we would have gone to Proverbs. Is it 7? 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Proverbs 7. Timothy, do you have anything to say as I'm going through it?
I'm listening to you.
Well, all I would have to say is keep the commandments of the Lord and live. The enemy wants you to cut it off, to take the scissors of life and say, I cannot do this anymore. But the Lord is saying, live, because you are the apple of his eye. You are special. So don't give in, because the enemy wants to wreak havoc in all of our lives. You live and know that the Lord will give you strength. Say something, son.
Yeah, that's good what you said.
That's good. Well, look, it's not me, it's the Lord. All right? Have a good evening in the Lord, encouraging yourself.